Hi guys, it's Philip here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build this abstract composition using Cinema 4D and Octane Render. These compositions are inspired by Peter Tark and Omar Akil. Check them out if you don't know them. This is the Peter Tark's work, and this is Omar Akil. These two guys have inspired me to create a series of illustrations like this one that are similar, around 18 of them, and I plan to shoot a whole series on YouTube on how to build this. So, okay, without further ado, let's jump into Cinema 4D and work on these. Just to explain a few things, I'm using the rusted pixel modeling layout here for Cinema 4D. I will include this file in the video. You can download it from the video description. We're going to use Octane Render later to render this. So to begin with, we will need a plane. And our plane is here. And our plane, we will need it to have some segments in width and height, because we are going to use a bend deformer. So let's begin with 5772 for the width, and for the height go with 28862. 100 width segments, 100 height segments. It looks like this. Now, holding shift, I will press the bend deformer here, and it will automatically put the bend deformer as a child of the plane. And for the bend deformer, we have to put its strength to -180 like this, and its positioning has to be somewhere like this. 5772, 5772. Okay, looks like we have to adjust a few more things. Let's try it like this. So 90 degrees rotation here and 90 degrees rotation here. And this is our backdrop that we were going for. It's not really what I wanted, but it works. Let's try rotating it like this, 180 degrees. And yeah, that's it. So when you rotate, if you hold down shift, you will get these steps. Okay, this is what we need, and now we can hide the bend deformer from the viewport by clicking 2 times here, and we will not get that bluish thingy that happened here. Okay, this is our backdrop. These backdrops are used by photographers in real life all the time to serve as a background of the shot. So we're going to have our composition here. We will begin the composition with a cylinder. As you have probably noticed on the web, and most of these compositions have some sort of cylinder. It's like a stand where they begin with. So for our composition, the stand will go here. Let's choose a cylinder, and actually let's move our plane so that our new items are somewhere here in the middle, like this. Okay, and we have our cylinder. When I press F2, I will jump into the front view, and let's just increase its width like this. I mean the radius. The radius of a cylinder is 1680. So here is the cylinder. Let's put it somewhere here. You don't have to be super precise, just follow along. We can adjust all of these things later. Let's put it here, and just when I press F3 to get into the right view, and put it somewhere here. Okay, this is our cylinder. Let's now set up our camera so that we can position our elements like we have to. So the camera is here. I guess we're going to be using Octane camera, so let's just use Octane viewer and put a camera here, and like this. Let's reset everything using right click on this, reset. And our camera needs its focal length to be 135. So it's telescopic. Okay. Now when we jump into camera, we see nothing, but we can increase the epsilon here. Which is kind of stupid. Let's just do it like this. Okay. Now we are looking at the composition, but the camera needs to be all the way here. Okay, this is it. Now let's use this slider here to zoom in a bit. And okay, this is the shot that we want. Now our pressing 1, I will just move this to the bottom like this. And now we're in the position where we want to be. Let's now change how our cylinder here looks like. We want to make it a bit thinner, center it in the middle, and position it so that it intersects just a slight with our plane. Let's just move it a bit more here. It's a general rule to have some space between the background and the subject you're shooting, so let's just put it here. And I think this will be good. Okay, looks like we might need a slight tilt of the camera to shoot this from the above. So let's just jump in our camera like this. Here we can increase the focus like this and just move our camera maybe a bit up and rotate it. We have to rotate it like this. So which axis is that? Okay, rotate it like this and just increase the okay, this is the shot we're going for. Our cylinder here needs more segments, so let's make it smooth. We won't worry about the segments right now, since this is not a game asset. You can always optimize later. So this is our cylinder. Let's decrease the height a bit, move it to the bottom, and make the fillet. Click here. You get the rounded edges that are necessary for smoothness and realism, and just increase them to radius of 5, for example. Okay, now we have set up our cylinder here, which is our base. So this is the image. We will want to shoot it as a rectangle. This is because when I publish these to social media, I just found this rectangle works best, and you know, because of Instagram and whatnot. So let's just jump into settings here and copy this here, lock ratio. Okay, we get a square now. This changes stuff a bit, so let's just hold 1 and position it something like this. And yeah, we want to have the base somewhere here, so not so close to the bottom of the image, so we can have the margin that we get here, here, a bit here, and a bit here. So we want to have that breathing room. That's what we are doing here. The screenshot plugin that I'm using is called Light Shot. Okay, this is our shot, and let's now begin adding some elements. Excuse me, let me have some water. Okay, we want to add the models here. Let's begin with the background stuff, the big stuff here. And yeah, we can begin with these rectangles here. So these are not rectangles, these are cubes, but you get what I mean. This. Okay, let's begin with the big one. So they're a bit pivoted. We need a little one. Let's put our image. I'm just gonna put it on a different monitor, but yeah. Okay, start with a cube. The cube is pretty small right now, but it doesn't matter. Pressing F2, we will get to top view, and we will position the cube somewhere here. Just rotate it slightly like this. Increase its width here, like this. And now press F1 and increase it. Okay, make it like this. You can just eyeball it, it really doesn't matter. And put it somewhere here. Okay, this is our cube. Now, when I press E, I will get to the move tool. The move tool, when you hover over this arrow and press Control on your keyboard, or Command on Mac, I think, you can duplicate it, so like this. And I just move it here and decrease its width. And just try to eyeball it here. Don't stress if it's not perfect. You can just jump into F2, the top view, and eyeball it here. Okay. Now we have this part. We will just make it taller. Using undo here. Okay, this is okay. Don't worry if it stretches here, it really doesn't matter at the moment. Just make sure when you press F3 that we don't get the complete intersection. We want to have some slight shadows here, so like this, okay? And now duplicate this, Control Shift and put it here. And we can just increase its width a bit, like this. Okay. And this we will duplicate it as well, Control Shift, move, and we can just put it somewhere here. Okay, so now when I look at it, mine looks a bit bigger, but you can play around with it and make it maybe a bit smaller. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if I can replicate this completely just from the reference. So it will not be 100% the same. Let's just select these, rotate them slightly. Maybe, no, these are fine. I wanted to scale it down, but let's not do it. Let's click this E tool and then move it here, because we want to make this yellow one here and increase its size so that it is almost here, and just put it next to this. Okay, we have our background here. Let's now add this one. This one has its shape changed. So let's do it like this. Just grab this, go to the top view, Control, duplicate it, put it here. Now this is the moment where we want to add a fillet to this one, since we are already going to make it editable. So click fillet, and this is good enough for a fillet. It will give us specular highlights in the render, which is pretty important. Then press C on your keyboard, jump to the points mode, pick the rectangle selection, click on these and put it here. Okay, perfect. This is that shape. Okay, now let's jump to the rest of the composition. Let's now add these cylinders here. We're going to use a cloner for these. So here, just pick a it's like a cloner tool. Pick it here, put it somewhere here, increase its size, and like this as well. We have our cloner. Let's just see if it's fine. Yeah, it is. Maybe make the radius a bit smaller here. Okay, and we're going to go into MoGraph, press Alt on the keyboard, click on the cloner, and it clones it. Now we don't want a grid array, we want a linear. We don't want it to be in the X, so just Control X to cut this and paste it into Z. Okay, not Z, it's X. I should learn this, so it's like this. They are pretty close, so if I press F4 and try to zoom a bit to see what's the perfect number. So the perfect number is 163. Okay, how many cylinders do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 of these here, so just put 8 to the cloner. And let's just rotate it in the top view like this and put it somewhere here. Okay, let's see. Something's off here. Looks like the cylinder has to decrease its. We have to decrease the radius of the cylinder like this to make it appear cooler, and just reduce this. Okay. Okay. Let's just put it somewhere here and make it here to the ground. And these are our cylinders. So the next thing, let's add another cylinder here, but it's kind of a different shape. It's more flat. So I just added a cylinder, go into the top view, rotate it like this, scale it, move it here, increase its radius, decrease the width, and put it somewhere here. Okay. And let's put it here. Okay, this is fine. Let's move this cloner to the bottom a bit. add rotation segment so that it looks smooth, and add a fillet here. So the fillet maybe 4, maybe 6, doesn't matter. Let's also add the fillet to this one. This is fine, this is fine, just check the fillets. Okay. That's it for this cylinder. I think it's fine. Let's now add this shape here. As you can see, it's like an arc. That's a bit weird, but this is not hard to create. So let's do it here like this. We're going to use a pen tool. Press F4 on your keyboard to jump into the front view like this, and just start sketching here, maybe somewhere here to the right, because so we can have some space. So do this like this, like this. It really doesn't matter, we'll change these later. So put this here, put this thing here, and put this here. Okay, let's see if that's right. Okay, it's actually the opposite. So I just grab the move tool, the rectangular selection, and do this. Okay, right now you want to select these two. Press T on your keyboard and then hold Shift while moving. Excuse me, not like this. First you start moving and then you hold Shift, and then you will align these 2 points. Then you can do the same here. You will have to do the same here. Press Shift. T to scale. It's a scale tool. This one here. Move it down. Hold Shift. Same thing to the bottom. T. Move. Hold Shift. Okay. Let's now see. We're pretty close. I think that's it. We will now use the rectangular selection. Select these 2 points. Right click. Select chamfer. Press M on your keyboard and then S on your keyboard. It's actually this bevel tool here. Sorry, it's just chamfer. Just click, move it to the right. Move. As long as you need. Okay, this is the shape we were going for. Now with the live selection, go into the subdivision surface, hold it here. While you are hovering the extrude, hold the Alt on your keyboard. You will add an extrude to the spline. I accidentally had this thing, this shape selected, so we added an extrude both to the spline and to this. So just move this cube here and delete this. If you had it selected, if you didn't, doesn't matter. Okay, here is our, if we go to F2, put it here. Here is our shape. Now the pivot point is here, so just click this and then move the pivot point here. And then turn this off. Remember to do that, otherwise you will have some problems. Okay, here it is. Let's now go to the F2, to the top view, and add some more offset to the extrude here like this. Perfect. And now F1. Press T, hold on the left click and scale it down. We want to put this somewhere here. Okay, and now you can actually come in here, click on spline, select Q on your keyboard. It will turn off the extrude. Go to the points, go to the rectangle selection, select these 2 points by holding Shift, and pull them down a bit. Now click Q again, and now you can control how this looks like. Okay, like let's say this is perfect, and now just click on extrude again and increase the offset maybe a bit more. In the caps, you want to jump to the both bevels round and add some fillet here to get the specular highlights. Okay, this is perfect. Let's now continue to add this arced shape here. The principle will be the same. So go to the pen tool, F4 on your keyboard. We can now draw here. So just do it like this. Actually, we don't need a pen tool at all for this. We can use a rectangle with the move tool on E. Just click here. Now press C to make it editable. Press Ctrl A to select all edges. T to scale, move it like this. Okay, now select these two, do it like this. Now select these two, right click chamfer, hold down the left mouse button and move, and you get this. Now you can go here, extrude, hold down Alt, and this is now extruded, F1, perfect. Okay, this thing belongs somewhere here. Now let's jump in here, put it here. Okay. Okay, next thing to add is a bit more complex. It's this column, we call it. Okay, let's add a cylinder with 80 segments. It will go here. So jump in here, F2. Put the cylinder somewhere here. Like this. This is its values. Height segments to 1 and rotation segments to 80. We will need this many segments and I will show you why. Now let's jump into the top view again. Actually, first press C, go into the points mode, select all, Control A, right click, optimize. Now activate your, actually you don't have to activate anything. Now leave the camera view like this. And now let's go and select our edges here. So you wanna go in here and select every second edge. Like this. I'm not sure if there is a way to automate this. I haven't found one so far, but there might be a way to do it. If you guys know how to do it, please let me know in the comments. So just let's do it manually like this. Okay, now when we have this, we will press T to scale and we will scale it inwards. Okay, this is what we're getting. Actually, let's go into the top view like this. And now press T and scale it inwards. We want to have a shape like this. Okay, this is fine. And now let's just go into our points mode. Select these points, press T and scale them down, pressing Shift to 0 so that they are aligned, and do the same for the bottom. Press T and scale them down. Okay, and now we want to jump back to this as well, and we will press M as on our keyboard and add some subdivisions here. So something like this. Let's maybe increase them a bit more. Okay, this is fine. Select other edges here. The edges that we haven't selected. So it's this one, it's these outer edges. Actually, I just remembered a way on how to do this, but it doesn't matter. Control Shift Z if you get out of the viewport. That thing happens when you lose the model you're trying to make. It happens when you are... I will explain in a minute. Let me just select everything here. Okay, when this happens, so when you press Alt on your keyboard, you can move but the pivot point is actually your cursor. So if you press Alt while your cursor is here, you will pivot around this element, and then you can lose the viewport. So if that happens, go Control-Shift-Z while hovering over the viewport. Okay, this is it. MS on your keyboard. Now put the subdivisions to 3, undo, and now with your mouse just click and make a smaller subdivision, like this. Okay, this is the column. Let's jump into the camera mode. I think it is fine. Let's just maybe increase its height a bit, like this. Okay. Now, as you can see in the top of the column is 1, 2, 3 pivot, 3 beveled cylinders. So let's do that. The bottom is not really shown, so it doesn't matter. While pressing Control, I will add a cylinder here, put it up, jump into the right view, scale it down like this, increase its radius, I'll scale it up a bit, put it here. Okay, it's fine, let's scale it up a bit and add fillet, add a bit more fillet. Okay, this is the first one, let's add 2 more. Another one, increase its radius, put it somewhere here, and another one, and increase its radius. Okay, this is perfect. It looks like they are a bit too big. Yeah, they are. Okay, let's jump back. And this one doesn't have to be that big. You can make it like this. So this one, that's the same. And this is the same thing. Okay, this is perfect now. Our column is now finished. Let's see what the next item is. Okay, let's make this one. As you can see, it's one element cloned multiple times. So let's make this part here first. We will start with a cube. Put the cube here. Rotate it a bit. And just make it like this, okay? Put it here. Now we wanna use the bevel. Actually, go and fill it. This is fine, and now we want to use the bool. So while pressing Alt, put the cube into the boolean, and then while you have the cube selected, go into the sphere and add a sphere here. You can leave the camera view to jump in here and just move your sphere like this, and yeah, this is what we want. Now you press on bool, press C, click this with your mouse wheel, press Shift C on your keyboard, and then type a command here, connect objects plus delete. Go on this. Okay, now you get only one item out of the 2. So you go here and try double clicking this. Okay, yeah, you can double click here and then press MS and bevel it a bit. Okay, as you can see, beveling it is creating a hole here in this element, and that's because these lines, these points are not connected to one another. We can undo this, and now go into the point mode, Control A to select everything, right click optimize, and now it is selected to the edge mode again, MS, and then bevel. Okay, this will add a nice curve here for our specular highlights. Now with this selected, press Control and go into the sphere and make another sphere. Scale it down here, and this is fine. Okay, these 2 are now one element that we want to put in our cloner. So group them together using Alt-G, and pressing this, go into the MoGraph, Alt-clicking on the cloner element, and you will get this. Now, I think the best way actually to do this is, in the MoGraph cloner, we want to rotate it so that it looks proper. Let's just see what we need here. We need 3 here and 3 here. We have to go into the rotation and do this. Okay. This is perfect. Just go into the cloner, put it here. Okay. Okay, this is our element. Jump into the camera view, and let's see. Yeah, it's fine. can put it here. Let's now build this shape. So it's a sphere, a cylinder, sphere, and a tube that's extruded. So start with a sphere, get that sphere here, increase its size like this, put it here. Let's see if it's touching this. Okay. Now increase the segments. Perfect. While pressing Control, add a cylinder here, increase its radius, put it here, and then here. Add some rotation segments to it, like this. Increase its height, decrease its height. Okay, put it here. And now we want to fillet it. Add some more radius. Okay, now pressing Control, we will pull up this sphere and put it here. And pressing Control, we will add a torus here, rotate it like this, and scale it up, increase its radius a bit. Okay, increase radius and increase the pipe width. I think this is fine. Doesn't really matter, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we want to add some segments here. Pipe segments are fine. Let's add some ring segments and decrease. Actually, let's decrease the ring segments as well. Okay, this is fine. Now we want to press C. Then we want to select the polygons. Control A to select all the polygons. Press I on your keyboard to do the inner extrude. It's this. You want to uncheck the preserve groups. Press F4 to jump into the front view and just do this. Okay, just a tiny bit. It's 5%. It's 5 centimeters offset, and press D and extrude it out. So we basically get this if you extrude out a lot, but just extrude out slightly. Okay, and now put the whole element into a subdivision surface. And if you leave your camera, you can see what we got. It's this. I guess it's not the same as this, but it will be cool. So let's see. This looks too big, so maybe we have to scale down the size of this sphere here, and then scale down the size of this as well. Let's put it somewhere here and just rotate it slightly. This is fine. Let's now jump to the next element. Let's make this capsule with a sphere inside. That can be done with a capsule. Put the capsule here. Increase its height and the radius a bit. So the capsule goes here. This is fine. Put it into a boolean, and then while pressing on capsule, go and make a sphere. Put a sphere here. And then what we just have to do, let's exit our camera to see if we're on the right track here. Our camera is fine. Okay, just jump in here, Control C, Control V to duplicate this sphere and scale it down a bit, and that's it. Let's actually select these two spheres and move them up a bit so that we get a cooler cut. I think this is fine. Now we want to select the bool, C, press C. Actually, select two spheres, put them down a bit. Select the boolean, press C. Click on the boolean with your mouse wheel. Do the connect objects plus delete. If you don't have the layout, just Control C. Shift C and write connect objects delete. Okay, we now get one item here. And jump into the edge mode and double click to actually go into the points mode, right click, optimize, then jump into the edge mode and try double clicking to get the whole edge. Oh, it's impossible. Let's just click it all by hand. If you want to deselect an edge, hold down Control, and then it will deselect it. If you want to select multiples, hold down Shift. Okay. Okay. With everything selected, press MS and just curve it a bit. This is fine. So 3.4 and 3 offset subdivision. Let's jump back into the camera. This is our capsule. The next thing we want to build is this. So this cylinder and the cut cylinder will be beneath it. So go into the cylinder, put it here. Let's rotate it like this, make it a bit like this. Looks like it's not perfectly rotated, so it's 80 degrees. Okay. We can put it here and just go into the slice it like this, and add some rotation segments. Increase the radius a bit and the height as well. Okay, this is fine. The cylinder looks cool. Now we want to duplicate it like this and go into the slice and deselect the slice. Add some rotation segments here as well. And rotate it a bit, put it here. And actually go into the fillet, add a fillet to it, maybe a bit harder fillet. And here again as well, add a fillet. Okay, this part is done. Let's now make these two. So it's one giant and one small ball. Sphere. So add a sphere, put it here, like this. So this sphere, we need to increase its segments. This, okay, excuse me. Let's say 28 segments, and put it here. Let's see if we have to make it bigger. Okay, we don't have to make it that much bigger. It goes here. It's actually intersecting, so put it here. Okay. Okay. Now let's go out of our camera view and press C to make it editable. Jump into the polygons. Press UL on your keyboard for loop selection and select every second. Okay. And now press D on your keyboard and extrude it inwards. Okay, and put it in subdivision surface by pressing Alt and clicking. And yeah, this is it. Now add another sphere by pressing Control so that it's next to it, and just put it somewhere here. Okay, and increase its segments. Okay, this is perfect. Now let's see what the next item is. Let's now do this shape. It's like a vase. So we will start with a cylinder and just position it here. Okay. Cylinder goes here. Just let's do this. Let's jump into the height segments, make it 1. Go out of the camera view. Go into the caps, remove the caps. Now we don't get the discs here. Okay, make it editable by pressing C. Go into the edge mode, add a loop cut here, and add a loop cut. Actually, let's try something. Press UL to select this. Press E, and actually press T, and while pressing down Control, you can scale this up. Move it down by pressing E. You can scale it down a bit. Okay, now press Ctrl A to select everything and move it up a bit. Come back here, double click, press Ctrl to move it down, and then again plus Ctrl and move it down a bit, and then scale it down. And this is the shape that we wanted. Let's put it in a subdivision surface. We get this vase-like shape, but yeah, let's keep it. It's not the same as this one, but maybe it's even better. We will get some nice reflections out of this, especially if we put it, some kind of reflective material on it. Let's now see. We can put it here. Okay, let's now make our next element. We can put this thing here. So let's now jump into our cloner, select it, and Let's see. We duplicate it, Control C, Control V. Press C on the controller to make it editable. And now perfect, just move it here with the move tool. Rotate it like this and scale it down using T and put it here. Okay, this is perfect. Now let's see what the next item is. Let's create this one. So it's a cylinder at the bottom, a cylinder here with the extruded edges, and a cone here. Let's begin with a cylinder on the bottom. Let's see, where is it? It's behind the vase. So we can somehow put the vase maybe here. Okay, this is fine. Okay, let's put a cylinder here. Increase its radius and put it maybe, okay, here. It won't be that visible, but yeah, it's a nice detail. Let's now jump to height segments, make it 1, increase the rotation segments. Now, while we are here, let's duplicate it, Control and pull it up, make it something like this. So let's just go into F4 for the front view, so you can see a bit more. It's still a bit bad, but let's add some height segments. We actually don't need the height segments, we need rotation segments. So press F1, go into the Octane camera, I'll leave the Octane camera and come here. This is enough of the rotation segments. Let's just make it editable by pressing C, go into the point mode, Control A, optimize. Now go into the polygons and click every other polygon. Select every other polygon. Oops. Okay, we have every other polygon selected, and let's see what was done here. Okay, we want to press I on the keyboard, inner extrude it, and then D and extrude it like this. Now let's add everything into a subdivision surface and see what we get. Okay, this is not good, but I know how to fix it. Let's just come in here, press everything, select everything with D, and scale it up a bit like this. And do the same thing for the bottom. So I will just activate Magic Solo, do the same thing here. UL, select everything and extrude. Okay. Magic Solo, go back to the object view and just put it up. Okay. And now put it into the subdivision surface. Okay, it still sucks. We have to fix this. We will do it by going into the edge mode and go into the ring selection. So that's Shift C, ring selection. Press everything and press M 2 times on your keyboard. M. You will get this loop here. UL to select it, and now you wanna bevel it. So MS on your keyboard, it's bevel, and you just wanna put the 0 here and pull it up like this. Okay, let's now activate the subdivision surface, and you see, this is what we get. Okay, we want to put a cone on top of it, so just while selecting this, press cone with the control selected and increase the cone's radius and maybe decrease the cone's size. And yeah, that's it. Move it out of the subdivision surface and just add some rotation segments so that it is smooth. Perfect. That element is finished. Let's now create these two triangles. So just jumping here into an end side, make it 3. So our triangle is, let's rotate it, actually like this. Okay, I cannot see our triangle, but it's somewhere here. I pressed S on my keyboard to lock it. So triangle is here. Let's see how these triangles are made. We want to put it like this. These are straight triangles. Not sure how do I make straight triangles. It shouldn't be that hard, I guess. Press C to edit this one, go into the points mode, and just select these two. If you wanna change the position of this, go into the object modeling axis and then change the axis to, let's see, world. And now where I press T, you can do this. And here it is. So this is our triangle here. We wanna put it into the extrude. So the triangle is behind, it's here. Now we cannot really rotate our extrude properly, so let's figure that out since we have this weird thingy. So I think if we jump, yeah, I know how to do this. Go into the polygons, select all the polygons. Actually, go into the extrude, into caps, add some bevels to this. Okay. Now press C on the extrude, and now go into the polygons and select everything. And this way we can rotate and scale it up a bit with all the polygons selected. So just put it here and duplicate it here. Okay. I kind of forgot how to fix the axis thingy here, but we will survive without it. Let's see if that's everything. Okay, this item is the only thing left. Let's see how we can build this. I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but it shouldn't be that hard. Let's see, we need a sphere, that's for sure. So put the sphere somewhere here. Increase it. And we have to change the sphere's type to something different. So let's see, how does this look like? How many? It has 3 faces. It has 3 points. So it looks like either a tetrahedron or a octahedron. So let's try with the octahedron and do 12 segments, and then we will exit the camera mode. Here we will make it editable, and then we will select all the polygons. We will inner extrude it, and we will now delete everything. We get this shape. Now we will select everything again, and we will use extrude and click on create caps. We will extrude this. And let's try adding that to the subdivision surface. Okay, this doesn't look that good. Let's just try and maybe put a deformer here, the bevel deformer. Yeah, that will make the bevels here and add some subdivision. Okay, this will give us some pretty reflections. But yeah, let's roll with this. So it's this sphere. Put it somewhere here. Okay. And the next thing we want to add is this. Let's do it here. Actually, put this here. While having this selected, we want to jump in the tube, pull the tube up, rotate it like this, increase its scale. Okay, we want to put it here, like this, and rotate it a bit. Increase the rotation segments, add some slice, and add a fillet. For the slice, we want to make it appear as it is resting here and going all the way up here, I guess. So yeah, this is interesting. This is finished, and now the only thing left that I see here are these spheres here. So this is pretty easy with a cloner. Let's jump into the sphere, put it somewhere here, scale it down, so the spheres are here, and then add it to the mole graph. So this is the cloner. We don't need the whole grid, the 3-dimensional grid, we just need 2 dimensions. So let's see, in the object mode, we want to increase this and but decrease this. Is this 3? Okay, it's a big grid. So more, we want more than 3, so let's try 5. Let's go with 6 for all, and maybe decrease to 153. Okay, and put the cloner, rotate it and put it somewhere here. Okay. Okay. I think we're finished with modeling. Let me check. Yeah, that's everything. Let's see how can we now texture this. Actually, let's turn on Octane and just dock it here. I usually use more monitors, but yeah, this is the way to go. I have a preset here, but you can just copy my settings. So we actually don't need 1000 samples since we have the AI denoiser turned on in camera imager, denoiser, enable denoising, and in our camera we will turn on the denoising as well in camera imager and spectral AI denoiser. Okay. Diffuse depth, these settings are fine, you don't need it that much, we can play with it later. GI clamp 0.1, well, let's make it 1. And yeah, let's go with these Octane settings. In the camera imager, actually in settings here and then environment, make sure this is black so you don't get any light here. Okay. Let's now use an HDRI. So I'm gonna always, when you use an HDRI, when you add it here, the Octane Sky, click on this and then add the HDRI. I'm gonna use the one I have. I'm gonna share it with you guys, Studio 03. And I'm just gonna light the scene with it. Always save before running Octane because it can crash. Okay, this is my HDRI. I'm gonna sidelight this scene like this. I'm gonna click on this thing here and just decrease this. Okay, while I press 1 on the keyboard, I will actually shoot this from a better angle. Okay, I accidentally typed 4 here, so let's just press 1 and then decrease it. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let's begin with this, and later we will add some more colors, lighting. Actually, we can increase the power to maybe 2 or even 5. Okay, let's make it 4.5. Okay, now to build our materials, as you can see on my render here, the materials are really simple. These are all glossy materials with increased roughness. Colors are pastels, so we are using only a few colors. It adds that charming, relaxing look. So let me show you the colors. So let's make some bugs here. This can happen. Let's see. Okay. I added a color here. So this color will be purple. So the hexadecimal code for this color is B6A1DF. This is the purple one. Let's go increase the roughness. Okay. Now the next color we want, while pressing down Control, I will duplicate it so I don't have to change the roughness every time. The next color we want is the pink one. So it will be in the diffuse channel, it will be DFA1AE. The next color we want to add here is the blue. So the blue color is A1C2DF. The orange color that we want is also pretty pastel. It's F2C196. And I'm using a black shader just to add some contrast, but it's questionable. Let's So yeah, actually the black shader is somewhere here. Okay. We can add some really reflective materials to to make the scene look more interesting. Actually, now when I look at it, I see that this is not really... Okay, it's perfect now. And this cloner of ours is not at the ground. Okay, perfect. Now let's add our colors. I wanted to create a metallic material just to catch some crazy lights reflections. So let's add a metallic material here and just crank the roughness. We can also add in the roughness channel, let's add an image texture and add a standard like roughness texture that all people use. You can find this for free on the web. This one or this one. Let's add that smudge here. Okay, perfect. Perfect, now let's add some textures to our scene. We will make the background yellow, the orange, like this. And we will make the base pink. Then add the same orange to our sphere here. Add, let's actually, it's fine. Add it here as well. Add the purple one to this ball here. Okay, let's select the ball and the pipe here and do this, okay. Add the blue color to the weird shape, the blue color to the background wall, the pink to the background wall, another pink here, another pink here, the yellow or the orange here. We cannot see it since we don't have the light from the right, but we will add it later. Let's now put the orange here. You can play with the colors as much as you like. I'm just gonna do it and you can do the same as me or whatever you want. Okay. Okay, let's make these cloners really colorful. So, how can we best do this? Like add one to everything, and then just randomly. I'm just gonna randomly scatter the colors around to get these weird looks. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Looks like the tops are all purple. Actually, it's literally easier to do it from here. So maybe like this. Okay. Actually, this is a cloner on itself, but let's make it editable so that we can more easily apply color to it. Then just let's make it all colorful. Okay. And the cloner here, the spheres, let's just make them yellow like this. Okay, this is perfect. I think that's it when it comes to coloring. Well, let's now light the scene. So the HDRI, I think we can keep it like this. Maybe later we will play with it. We're not going to use a super complex lighting setup here. It's just going to be a 2-point light studio setup. So make a light here, an Octane area light. Jump into the top view, rotate the area light like this. Maybe put it somewhere here. Jump into the front view, put it here. Again in the top view, let's actually in the right view, let's make it like big like this, and I think this is fine. Decrease its power so that we don't get it burned, but that we get some nice reflections here to this side. We could add a fall off just to see, just to get a more softer look. Okay, this is fine. So we can jump in here and duplicate this light and move it here and rotate it like this to light the other side as well. But to keep some contrast, let's just decrease the power of this light from 26 to maybe 17, so that the other part is a bit more so that this part is a bit more is a bit lighter than the left one. Okay, let's maybe zoom it in a bit to see the whole image maybe. Okay, perfect. Now we can play around with it in some more. We can add some post-processing here, or in the camera imager at least change something. So let's try. I know this one worked good, so it's something here. Maybe 400, and increase the exposure. Yeah, a bit, just a bit. Maybe decrease the gamma, or actually, yeah, decrease the gamma a bit, like this. Okay, we can actually add another, like a highlight here. Let's add a new light, put it somewhere here. Just rotate it like this. We can have it here, so that we have something cool happening. Maybe here, and just make the light camera visibility, shadow visibility, general visibility, reduce it down, and reduce this. And just add to the sampling rate like 30, so that it cleans a bit better. Okay, I thought maybe we can add metallic material to something. Let's try adding it to this weird shape. It's not bad, yeah, I like it. Let's just add, replace our black material with the shiny material. We can even change it to be something like golden to get that luxury feel. I don't know, maybe it's stupid. Let's see. Maybe something like this. This is too saturated. Okay, this is not bad, yeah. Maybe put it here as well. I don't like this. I'm gonna undo. Okay, let's roll with this. What else could we do? Let's try and add some bloom, maybe 10. Actually, I think this kind of breaks the realism. Yeah, let's go with this. Just see here what we can do. Okay. Okay, it's really similar to what we did before. Let's maybe pull the capsule and the sphere of the capsule. Let's put them somewhere here, so that we can get this highlight here. Maybe we can increase its size. Actually, let's move it back and just move the ball here, or something like this, so that we can catch the highlight here. Okay, I think that's it. Let's now render everything here, and we can play with the image in Photoshop a bit, just to change it a bit. I will show you what I do sometimes with the curves and stuff like that. Also, we can render the passes. I'm not sure if it's necessary for this image, but now I just figured out that this capsule is a bit bad because it doesn't have a lot of segments. I think we can maybe figure this fast if we go in here and in the palette just add some loop cuts, maybe here or here. It's not that better, but yeah, it's a bit better. Let's now go into the Octane camera here. The image looks a bit blurry. I'm not sure why, but let's jump here into thin lens and to depth of field. Turn off autofocus, control and mouse wheel click here, for example, and increase the aperture aspect ratio maybe to add some depth of field. Something just slight as this. I think the image is blurry because it is low resolution, so let's just jump in here, make it like this, and re-render it. And undock it here and see how it cleans. Yeah, looks pretty realistic here. We forgot to shade this, so let's jump in and shade this. We're also getting some weird reflections here. We want to fix that as well. The capsule looks bad. I think I'm gonna remodel it. So yeah, let's do it real fast. I just stopped the Octane thingy. So the capsule itself is bad. I wanna delete it. And I will create a new capsule. Put a new capsule here. Okay. And add some segments to it. Cap segments, okay, rotation segments, and height segments. Okay. Now let's put the capsule into the boolean and put a sphere here. Make the sphere somewhere here. Okay. It cuts a bit. Okay. Now duplicate the sphere and do something like this. Okay. And now you wanna exit the camera mode. Go in here and again make this boolean editable. Mouse wheel click it, go connect objects plus delete, go into the edge mode, double click to see if we can select everything. Actually go into edge mode, right click, optimize, then go into the edge mode and try to select everything. You can't, so let's pick this by hand. Hopefully we will not get these weird artifacts when we bevel this. Okay. Okay, just a slight bevel to not break things up. Let's shade it as well. We wanted to make this purple and make this that golden color, and also apply some color to the bottom of this. I also think this, let's see, hidden lines. Here I think that this item, something was wrong with it. Let's just rotate it somehow so that we can get different reflections. Okay, let's light up the Octane again and see our image. This ball is floating a bit. Everything else seems fine. I think we're ready for the final render and some post-production work. So this, put it. I just noticed these items are not, these little dots here are not, don't have any color, so I will just add on the parent element so it applies to all the spheres that don't have materials on them. It will apply the material to the parent element. I'm gonna do the same with this cloner here. It's this cloner, so just right click apply. Okay, let's now see, excuse me, let's now see how this looks. Okay, it looks cool. Fine, I'm just gonna remove the depth of field here because I don't think it adds anything. And we have that line here, so we have to reposition these boxes a bit here. And what was the other thing I was mentioning that I want to remove? Put this over here. Yeah, we want to remove the depth of field, so let's jump into thin lines, autofocus. Okay. Okay, let's render this. So here is the final Octane render, and I'm here in Photoshop, and I just want to add some few color adjustment, nothing too special. We might go into a deeper dive into the passes and everything later down the road. Let me show you what I've made here. So these are the curves and levels. So here, if you go into, excuse me. So if you go into adjustment layer and then add a curves, I have the curves here already, so this is the effect they're making, as you can see. Just making them a bit, making the reds a bit more lighter and some stuff like that. Let me show you. So the main RGB curve is slightly pulled up. The red curve is normal at the bottom, not moved, but at the top is moved a bit to the left. The green curve is reduced here, pulled down, and here as well, pulled down a bit. And let's see, for the green curve, maybe we wanna add some lessen the contrast here a bit, yeah. And for the blue curve, it has this S curve. Let's see, yeah, we wanna remove the blues from the like this, and here at the top, let's see how this changes. Introducing, yeah, put the blue curve here. Okay, these are the RGBs, so without, with, and the levels here that add a bit more brightness. Levels are pretty basic, just here and here. So the other thing we can do is select this layer here and go into filter, sharpen, just to sharpen the image a bit. And we can also jump maybe into color balance and play with it a bit, maybe to get a look we want. So a bit more to the red here, a bit more into the magenta, and a bit more to blue maybe. So without width, not much of a change. But yeah, this is the final render, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can use this render as a part of your portfolio. I know a lot of companies are interested in this look at the moment. So yeah, you can use this renderer in your portfolio. It would be cool if you can mention me or tag me or whatever. Then you can also buy the project files on my Gumroad. And soon I'm creating a Patreon, so if you guys want to support me there, yeah, you will have the URL. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this course. Like, share, subscribe, tell to your friends, and I'll see you in another video. Take care, bye bye.